All right, we're over at Centennial Youth Hockey Association's rink. There's about 8 rinks here in this building. Had a little bit of morning confusion, went to a different rink, so we are coming in hot for this game. Boys just got here about 15 minutes ago and changed as quickly as they could change. Got out on the ice and warming up just a little bit. This is going to be a little different. Obviously, this is a true friendly, so there won't be a clock running on this one, and I don't think anybody's going to be keeping the score on the scoreboard here in the rink. So we will keep as much as we can of that for you and keep you up to date on where we are time-wise, as good as we can do that. So it may be a good practice opportunity. They may even pause in the middle of the game and coach in the moment too. So good learning experience here for the boys. It's early though. Boys all up at about 5:15 this morning. Grabbed them some breakfast there at the hotel before they headed over. 7 a.m. game, getting started just a little bit late, but nevertheless, we're going to play some hockey here this morning. So boys come out ready though. It's early morning, it's cold. I can. Good. Don't feel that way. All right, Hallberg's going to be taking the draw. Hallberg takes the draw, gets it back to Phelps down in Omaha's zone. Phelps going to bring it around the backside of the net. Calgary, they're right on top of him. The Calgary Sentinels brings it over to Ives. Ives going to bring it through some traffic, looking for some help when Hallberg finds him in the neutral zone. Cohen turns the Jets on his 3-on-1, great pass early on, opportunity over to Max. Good idea, good shot on goal there. No goal so far. Ives gets it, turns it back towards the goal. Backhand's looking for some help in the center. Goalie's going to trap on that. Going to have a reset here and drop. Looks like Carroll's coming out on the ice, Hickman out on the ice. Hickman's going to take the draw on this one. Martin's over on the left. Pomfret here backing up on defense along with Roman as well. You can run that if you want. That'd be great. Puck drop comes out to Carroll. Carroll takes a shot on goal, goes a little wide left where Hickman's going to pick it up behind the net. Turns the brakes on, goes back the other way. Sends it up top to Pomfret. Pomfret couldn't quite hold on to it into his own. He's going to find Roman over here. Went D to D. Roman's going to reset and dump it down low. Forge is going to be the first one for the Mavericks to it. He gets it on the backside of Sentinel's goal. Forge hits the break, turns around, centers it looking for Roman, couldn't connect. Roman dumps down in the boards, gets it over to Carroll. Carroll goes to Roman. Roman does keep that into their zone. Gets it back down. Looking for Hickman over the middle, they couldn't quite connect. Pomfret's going to dump it down low where Hickman's going to send it up on the far side boards. Pomfret's going to ping pong it a little bit back and forth to Hickman, but Sentinels get it into the neutral zone. Hickman, good back check there. Over to Martin. Martin throws it through the neutral zone there where the Sentinels send it down in Omaha territory for just a hot second. Gets it to Roman. Roman looking for his point guy in Hallberg. Sends it up to Sentinel, but Hallberg fights for it, gets the puck, comes out with it, moves it through traffic, shot on goal. Goalie does trap on that. Gives the Mavericks a chance to get a few fresh legs out there. Max Holmes coming in for Forge Hickman. Looks like Hallberg set to take the drop. Moyer on his right. Holmes on the left. Comes out to Ives. Ives can't hold the blue line there, so he looks to pass, turns around, and goes back the other way with it. Everybody's out of his zone. He looks to backhand it over to Hallberg. Gets broken up by the Sentinels. Up against the near side boards. Ives, Moyer fighting to keep it down into the Sentinel zone. Can't quite do it. Comes over into the neutral zone. Phelps turns the jet zone, gets back, and regains control of the puck. Looking for some help up top to Ives, and he finds him. Ives has a point guy looking up. Got his eyes up quick, finds Max Holmes with a good pass. Holmes getting ready to look for Hallberg. Throws it through the center. Couldn't quite connect there. Pomfret's going to be the first Maverick to it. He dumps it down low back behind the Sentinels' goals. Holmes on the backside. Gets the stick, throws it up top to Pomfret. Pomfret fires from downtown. Long shot, bounces off the goalie's chest pad. Goes into the near side corner. On the backside, the Sentinel's going to come back around their own goal where they're going to meet Ives. Ives going to put a stick on that. Steals it from him, turns, fires to the center. It's open in front of the net. Shot on goal. Hallberg couldn't quite put that one in the back of the net. Went a little high right. Sentinels come out with it, trying to clear the zone, but Hallberg gets the stick in there and stops that. Back over to Ives. Ives backhanded shot about 3 foot high over the goal. Holmes going to send it down on the backside where he finds Hallberg. The puck gets taken by the Sentinels. Sentinel losing an edge right in front of Ives. Ives going to take it back the other way. Thor getting ready to drop the hammer. Loose puck in front of the net. No cleanup. Loose puck still in front of the net. Holmes fighting for it. Gets a stick in there, but Sentinels take it and dump it. Hands up back here. Looks like an icing call is coming, and it does. Good job by the boys this morning so far. I mean, literally, I'll say getting off the bus and walking straight on the ice. So far, moving a little bit, passing it back and forth, finding their point guy 2 or 3 times here through the neutral zone. So, puck drop comes out, Hickman to Roman. Sentinels do get it through the neutral zone, but Phelps is there to regain control of the puck. He blows an edge, comes back.
Outdoor ice yesterday. I'm going to look at some edges.
Well, did you get them sharpened? Bitzer had about 17 skates piled up in the lobby sharpening after the outdoor rink, so we'll have to. Shot on goal coming, high to the left by Roman. Gets it on the backside to Ford. Ford's over to Moyer. Moyer going D to D. Pomfret wasn't able to catch that on the right side of the blue line, so it's going to be a offside calls. Pretty close there. It was right on the line. Not sure if that one was offside or not, but that was the call. Puck drop comes back to Pomfret. Pomfret slings it down into the near side corner. Ford is going to be on the back side of the goal, put some pressure on him. Makes a pass up where Martin's going to get a stick on it over to Roman throws one up towards the net, went high to the left over to Martin. Martin gets broken up by a Sentinel player trying to get it to Hickman on the back side of the net. Roman calls for the puck up top. Ford finds him. He fires down towards center. Goes off Sentinels players' skate, and they're going back the other way through the neutral zone. They do gain Omaha zone where Pomfret's there, pops the stick up, gets an opportunity to steal the puck, throws it down low. Boys are moving the puck pretty good. Find the point guy, trying to get it to Carroll. Carroll couldn't hang on to it. Sentinels throw it back down in Omaha zone where Pomfret uses the boards, gets it back to the neutral zone. A little bit of a ping pong action back and forth right now. Carroll gets a stick in there and gets it back over to Hickman. Roman comes up trying to keep that out of zone. First shot on goal for the Sentinels, and Tracy was there. Brooksy gets down, traps that one in his pads, and makes a great save there. If I had to guess, shot on goals right now is about 6 Omaha, 1 Sentinel. Looks like Hallberg set to take the draw. Holmes on his right, comes out towards Holmes. Holmes gets up there and gets a body on that puck and tries to get it out of the zone but couldn't quite do it. Comes back to Phelps. Phelps skates hard across the center, backhands it up to Ives. He finds him. Ives comes over to neutral zone. We got 2 guys on his left. Ives turns the jet zone, looks to come through the center. Finds Holmes on the backside. Holmes turns the brakes on. Throws it towards the goal. It bounces off Hallberg's ankle. Up to Moyer. Moyer slings it down the center. Where Sentinels, we regain the puck, move it through the neutral zone. Phelps turns, does a great job getting a stick on that one, sends it back the other way. Couldn't quite get it out of the zone yet, but Hallberg does turn and pull it through to the neutral zone over to Sentinel. Sentinel tries to pass it through the neutral zone, and Hallberg he's flying around everywhere this morning. Not sure what he had in his cereal, but he's awake for sure. Hallberg on the backside, keep the pressure on the Sentinels. Sentinels have it back behind their own net. Tries to move it up the far side boards where Hallberg's there again. Pomfret comes in. Ives comes in. They do a pinch there and gets it over to Roman. Roman finds the boards on the far side of the neutral zone where Hallberg picks it up, moves it into Sentinel territory. 3-on-1 shot on goal. A little wide right. Gets to find Max over in the corner. Max getting ready to throw it up to Roman, changes his mind, and finds Hallberg across the center over to Pomfret. Pomfret with a firing shot. A little bit high left. Boys are peppering the net pretty good this morning, but hadn't got one to land yet. Ives picks up the puck on the far side boards. Tries to move through some traffic, gets taken out there. Sentinels are going to take it out of our zone into neutral zone. They sling it down where Pomfret is able to intercept that for just a moment. Hallberg gets in there, gets a stick on that, uses his feet, stick, and everything else to move the puck the other way. He's on a breakaway. It's a one-on-one. He moves it backhands off the goalie's face mask. Couldn't quite connect. Coming back the other way. Pomfret able to hold the zone. Gets it down to Holmes. Holmes finds Hallberg. Great pass. Hallberg tries to move it right to left and couldn't quite keep it on his stick. Back door was open after the goalie had committed. Good job by Landon continuing to hold the zone. Puck coming back around. Pomfret again keeping the blue line secure there. Gets it down to Ives. Pops back out to Pomfret. Shot on goal. Long shot. Wide left. Over to Martin. Martin backhands looking for Ives. They couldn't connect, but Pomfret's on the backside. He takes it, shoots. Gets back down into the right-hand corner. Up top to Roman, a little clapper action, and sends it about 6 miles to the left, or to the right of the goal. Ives got the puck on the far side board. Moves it through one guy, two guys, backhanded, just got a little heavy-handed with it, went high. If I had to guess, we're at about 16 shots on goals so far.
That one didn't count.
Didn't hit the net, doesn't count. Okay. Puck gets dumped down. They wave off icing. That one hit the net. It flew out of the rink, hit the net. We had a puck out of play, so we're going to pause, restart, and have a draw here. Looks like Hickman set to take the draw. Martin on his left, Carroll on his right. We got Phelpsy and Roman backing him up. Brooks Tracy between the bars. Ford's using a skate to get that one out. He's on a breakaway. It's nothing but daylight for Forge. Hard shot, right hand top corner. Forge Hickman takes the draw and goes coast to coast, sticks that one in the back of the net. It's going to make it 1-0 Omaha. They draw first blood here in this game. Hickman set to take the draw. Same Motley Cruz on the ice as the last draw. Ford's trying to get that back-to-back, but Sentinels bring it back the other way. Moyer's backpedaling, coming back hard, gets a stick on that. Phelps comes in and helps as well. Loose puck back behind the net where Moyer's able to send it down in the far right corner. Using their bodies, pushing hard as they can up against the boards. It comes out to Hickman. Hickman's going to be able to move it through some traffic. He finds his point guy in Martin. Martin couldn't quite hold on to it for just a second there, but Ford comes in, gets a stick on it. He moves it into Sentinel zone. He's got Martin on his left. He looks for him. Great idea by Ford's little backhanded pass over to Martin, but it gets deflected off the Sentinel player's skates. Moves towards the goal where the goalie does stop that. Set to take the draw. We got Hallberg, number 5. Ives on his right. Mac Combs on the left. Looks like Ives backing up here In the defensive position, you got Roman down on the right side and Pomfret holding the blue line. Hallberg sends it into the corner, comes back out to him where he gets a stick on it over to Ives, over to Max. Max shot on goal, loose puck in front of the net. Sentinels get it and start skating down on the backside where Holmes is going to put some pressure on him. They throw it up the boards. Couldn't quite hold the blue line there. Ives comes in and stops that pursuit a little bit, picks his pocket, goes back the other way. We got 3-on-2 here. We got some numbers. They get it over to Hallberg, and it looks like Holmes was offsides on the far side. They're going to take it over to the far side dot. Regroup, drop. Hallberg set to take the draw. Hallberg takes it, sends it to his legs where it comes back to Roman. Roman gets a stick on it, but it turns over to the Sentinels. Sentinels move it into the neutral zone. You got Hallberg putting pressure on him on the backside along with Holmes. Pomfret takes it, fires it through the center. Ice dumps it off where Sentinel's going to have it, backhands it over to Roman. Roman's going to try to move it through some traffic and gets it knocked off the end of his stick where Hallberg's going to be putting pressure on the Sentinels on the far side. Shot on goal coming. Tracy was down, goes off the right pillow into the left corner here, near side boards. Holmes fighting to try to get it out of that Omaha zone. Couldn't quite do it yet. Roman uses his body to block the puck. Right at the blue line, it dumps down low where Pomfret's going to be there. He's going to use the boards to find, looking for Holmes, for Hallberg, and Hallberg's going to get it and come through the center ice. Hallberg turns the Jets on. He's got two of them in pursuit. Shot on goal coming. Good hard shot by Hallberg. Bounces off the goalie's stick and goes in. That's going to be 2-0 Omaha so far. Not sure exactly how much time's left or when they're going to call the period, or if they're going to even call a period, or just have continuous play until we run out of ice time. But right now it's 7:24, and to my knowledge, our ice time started at 7. Puck drop comes back. Sentinels take it from Forge. They run into Phelps on the backside. Martin comes in, gets a stick on it, uses the boards on the backside to get it over to Forge. Forge tries to move to the right. Gets the pockets picked there, but regains control of the puck. He's going to be coming on a breakaway. He's got Martin coming on his right. Martin's going to have to slow down just a little bit, and he did just enough. Hard shot by Forge, broken up by the Sentinels players, though. Loose puck in front of the net. Goalie gets down and traps on it. All right. That is the end of the first period. So the boys are going to take a little break here, but so far they seem to be buzzing pretty good for a 7 a.m. game that we were kind of running around trying to figure out where to be.
Two different rinks.
Yeah. Coach Jared, Coach Murph on the bench over here. We've got the black team playing. What's our stats?
We've had 24 shot attempts, but 14 shots on goal. So we've missed the net 10 times. They've had 2 shots on net.
All right. 24 shot attempts, 14 shots. It only counts if it hits the net, is what Brandon said. Hey, Wade, did you count the one that hit the net over here when it went out of play? Does that count? Just a bit outside.
Maybe get a heads up when you hit the net. That's like half of our shots. You missed the net.
All right, getting ready to start the second period here. Looks like Pomfret's going to be moving into the center spot, taking the draw here. Ives is going to be over on the left side here from the camera. Holmes over on the right. Moyer and Phelps are going to be backing them up on defense. Is their mascot? Are they the Sentinel? What's their mascot? Do you know?
No idea.
Looks like a cougar on the front. They even call them the Cougars. Man Bear Pig. Puck comes out where Pomfret couldn't quite hold the blue line, get it into the Sentinel zone. Holmes skates in a circle a couple of times, the puck underneath his feet, couldn't find it, comes back the other way into Omaha territory. Sentinels have it on the backside of Omaha's net. Using the boards on the backside, they're trying to get it back and forth, but Moyer finds it. Moyer slings it up the boards. Nobody's home on the backside. Sentinel shot on goal coming. There was a one-timer there from Sentinel. They couldn't connect. Phelps is there, gets the sticker on it. He's going to be trying to get that up to Holmes. Holmes gets in there, couldn't quite hang on to it. Phelps comes back with a good back check. And dumps back down low to Moyer. Moyer looking for some help, finds Ives for half a second. Shot on goal. Shot towards the goal, went wide right for the Sentinels. Sentinels are moving the puck fairly well on this end right now. Shot on goal. Brooks gets down, traps that. Or excuse me, blocks that. Puck comes out to Phelps. Phelps tries to clear that out of his own. Another shot on goal, and Brooks is going to trap. That trap by Brooksy gives him a chance to get some fresh legs out on the ice. So a line change coming. Hickman's coming in for the draw. Looks like Roman's going down in a forward position, out in a defensive position, along with Martin, Carroll, and Hallberg. Hallberg set to take the draw. Trying to get it backwards to Fords. He finds Fords on the backside of the net. Fords wraps around, throws the brakes on, comes back the other way. Looking to pass up, swing and a miss, but does pass, but it goes out of the zone. Hallberg's going to get through center ice pretty quickly, put some pressure on him. They send it back the other way where I believe that is Martin on the other side. And they're going to have an offsides call. Same crew on the ice. Hallberg takes the draw, sends it back, finds Hickman over at center ice. Hickman gets it over to Hickman couldn't quite hold on to that, but he gets in there, pops the stick up, and passes Roman. Puck comes out on the backside, helping Brooksy out on that. Roman's going to bring it up against the board, catches an elbow, gets forced into the boards where Carroll has the puck. Carroll looks to skate up, finds Martin on the other side. Martin brings it into the Sentinel zone. Got a little space, turns it back, fires it to Hallberg. Hallberg loses an edge as he's trying to shoot towards goal. Went wide right. Sentinels try to center it. They find Roman. Roman over to Hallberg. He tips it. He goes into Sentinel zone. Does a good job of getting back. Gets a puck on it. Shot on goal coming. Bounces off the goalie's stick. Roman does a good job of keeping that in zone. Gets on the backside to Ives. Ives getting ready to drop the hammer. And Ives throws another man missile to the back of the net. That one was for Ives' mother, because she posted on my wife's Facebook or something about the comment of man missile yesterday. So Thor drops the hammer and man missiles. That's what he does. Good shot by Ives. That takes it to 3-0 so far. Omaha leads here in the second period. Puck drop comes out by Pomfret over to Holmes. Moyer gets stick on the far side, gets it back over to Holmes. Holmes tries to send it up into the Sentinel zone. Sentinel passes there. Great shot by Phelps. He comes in like a wrecking ball. That kid didn't like it, but that's hockey. Gets it back over to Moyer. Moyer's going to come up, turn some speed on. He's going to take it, moves to the right, left, loses it under his feet, does a little spin, finds somebody in the center, and he couldn't quite hold on to it. Pomfret shot on goal coming as he's falling. Glove saved by Sentinel goalie. Phelps did a good job coming in, holding the puck in the neutral zone there. A little contact, but that's what he does. Pomfret dumps it out on the backside to Ives. Ives throws one from the blue line. Wraps back around. Ives going to throw one from the blue line again. A little wide left on that one. Max Holmes is going to be the first Maverick to it. Goes and pinches up against the boards. Phelps keeps it in the Sentinel zone, but they have it back behind their own net. They're trying to clear the zone. Moyer couldn't quite hold that one on the stick, and they do. We got a two-on-one. Pomfret turns the gas on there, gets back, does a great job back checking there, gets it to Moyer. Moyer's going to bring it into Sentinel zone. He's got 4 guys between him and the goal. He turns the brakes on to find some help up top. Couldn't get there. Gets pinched up against the boards. Sentinel's got it back behind their own goal. They're trying to find a way to get it through the center, but Holmes is there. Gets a stick on it. They're going to dump it. Ref got his hands up. It looks like Brooksy's going to get out there and keep that from being an icing. Sends it back to Landon. Landon trying to use the board to get it out of that zone, but gets picked off by a Sentinel player. Loses an edge. He's looking for a call, but didn't get it. Sentinel steal it from Landon. Move it towards the goal. Shot on goal. Hits the right goal post. And Brooksy's able to trap. So far, score's still 3-0. Have no clue what time is left in the second period here. My guess, another 4 minutes. I don't know if they're doing continuous clock or who's even keeping a clock. Maybe a little more. Puck drop comes out to Hallberg. He gets it over to Martin. Martin uses the boards to get around one guy. He's got 3 guys in pursuit of him. He turns the Jets on. He's got a little time, a little space. Shot on goal. Hits on the outside of the net. Hallberg there trying to clean that up in front of the net with a loose puck. Goalie's going to get down and trap that one. So we'll have a reset. Face off here on the far side. Hallberg's going to be set for the drop. Carroll on the left. Hickman over on the right. Excuse me, Hickman backing him up. That's Martin over on the right. Roman up top. Roman trying to hold the blue line, and he does. Uses the boards, throws it down, dumps it down in the bottom where Martin's going to get to it. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Calvary's got, I don't know why I keep wanting to call them Calvary. I think it's because their logo looks like the logo for the Calvary. Hallberg moves it through 2 or 3 people. Shot. I'm going to call that a pass because it was about 5 foot to the right, and Martin tipped it, so we're going to call that a pass. Puck.
Call whatever you want.
Puck comes out on the backside. Hallberg looks to try to center it, but it gets broken up by the Sentinel players. He gets a stick in there. Keep trying to hold that into Sentinel zone. Hallberg does a good job of doing that over to Martin. Good hustle up to Roman, comes up on the far side boards. He centers it, looking for Hallberg, couldn't find him. Gets back down to Martin. Martin swing and a miss, then he regains it, sends it up to Hickman. Hickman's going to send it back down to Martin. Martin's going to send it back up to Hickman. Hickman goes D to D. Great job moving the puck. Shot on goal by Roman. Couldn't quite get a tip in there. Hallberg was trying, but comes out on the backside. Ives. Ives sends it to Roman. Roman over to Hickman. Hickman shot on goal. And he stinks it. Turns, waves to the fans on that one. Good job of moving the puck by the boys on that one. Last assist there went D to D from Roman over to Hickman. Hickman's about a foot off the blue line. Throws that one all the way through the back of the net.
Deflected off one of the players.
Oh, it did deflect off one?
Yeah.
All right, that was deflected off one of the breezers for the Sentinel players. Nonetheless, that takes us to 4-0. Sentinels move it back into their zone, regroup, send it to the neutral territory where Pomfret's going to have a back check, makes him put a little pressure on him. Puck gets dumped down into the near side corner where Phelps is going to get to it first. Using the boards, trying to find some help. Getting pinned up against the boards, fighting hard. 2-on-1 there. Everybody's in on the action. Warriors in front of the goal, continuing to help keep that pressure out. Looks like Holmes comes out with it. He's got a point guy here in Ives. Ives got to hit the brakes. Oh, that was not a offsides, I don't believe. Ives hit the brakes right about the time that Holmes was coming over the blue line. But Holmes was on a breakaway there. Near side dot drop. Looks like Pomfret's going to take this draw. Ives over here on the left, Holmes on his right. Sends it back to Moyer. Moyer finds Holmes. Ives does a good job of getting onside right before Holmes gets towards Sentinel territory. Hard shot on goal right to the face of the goalie there. He does stop that one. Shot by Holmes is deflected. He gets a rebound right to the face.
Like Ford shooting the puck point blank right in his face.
That's tough shot by a big kid. Pomfret taking the drive. Ives and Ford decide to switch spots here. Sends it down into the corner where Ives is going to come up, put some pressure on him. He sends it to Hickman. Hickman finds Ives down low. Ives comes to the center. Centers it looking for Holmes. Holmes had a swing and a miss. Roman throws it back into the corner where the Sentinels do get it out of the zone. Hickman comes in with a shoulder. Takes the guy out into center ice. Puck was loose on the backside. Holmes gets it and he loses it over to the Sentinel player. Sentinels, they do center it to one of their players. Brooksy gets down, but he's just a little bit wide right. The Sentinels try to center it back. Couldn't find anybody on the backside, so Forge brings it over neutral zone. Loses the puck, but Pomfret picks it up. Shot on goal gets blocked by a Sentinel player. I think he's feeling that shot from Landon. Good job passing it down to Ives. Ives takes a shot on goal, wide left. Hickman does keep the puck down in Sentinel territory. Dumps it on the backside to Ives. Ives is going to find Pomfret on the far side boards. Pomfret turns around, slings it, and loses it over to the Sentinels. Sentinels trying to move through the center there. And they do. They get it out of their zone. Hickman regains control of the puck. He turns the gas on. Hard shot on goal. Goes off the goalie's glove and then drops down and he traps it. Good sportsmanship there by Hickman. He knows that was a hard shot and a hard shot to catch. He turns around and hits the goalie on the head and tells him good job. You got to appreciate that. When somebody makes a good stop on a hard shot like that, gave the man credit he was due. That was pretty good. Comes back to Hallberg on the draw. Hallberg up to Roman. Roman down to Moyer. Oh, excuse me, that's Martin. Sentinel's going to bring it over to neutral zone. Hallberg turns around, skates backwards, regains control of the puck. We got numbers on this one. We got Hallberg coming through the center. Carroll on the left. Carroll's going to come up, try to put pressure on him, doesn't do it. In time, the puck comes out to neutral zone to Martin. Martin fighting to try to get that puck back down. Comes out to Moyer. Moyer and Phelps turn around. Moyer going to dive in front of him, make some turn. Loose puck in front of the net. Does a good job by Phelps. He's sending that back out of the territory. They're holding their hands up. Yep, that was a goal there. I couldn't quite see the puck, but hard shot by the Sentinels does sneak through. It's going to take it to 4-1. Landon Pomfret getting ready to take puck drop. You got Ives on his left. The puck comes out. Sentinels move it into Omaha zone, but Phelps is there.
What are you doing?
We got a little bit of a scuffle here. So we had a puck drop, went into Omaha territory. Phelps had come up, put a hard shoulder on a kid going after the puck, and just a little hockey scuffle there. The coaches and slash refs, we got Hallberg reffing on this one, and also a Sentinel player coach as well. Come in, break it up. We're gonna reset here, so going to be on the penalty kill here. So 4-on-5 hockey here, and Looks like Pomfret takes the draw. Pomfret gets it back to Hickman. Hickman's going to try to get out of that zone. So he's moving his feet, taking the puck through the center. Finds Pomfret, does a good job of getting that puck out front, keeping us from being offside. Pomfret gets taken out on the near side boards down in the bottom corner. Ives is going to come in, get a stick on that. Trying to move it through some traffic there and keep it into Centennial zone. They do dump it down in Omaha territory. Hickman turns the jet zone. Tries to get a little position over puck. Turns around, swings it back up top. Looking for some help, finds Ives. Ives is going to bring it into neutral zone. Has to make one guy miss, and he does. Loses the puck and uses his skate to get it back over. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Pomfret's going to come in and hold the blue line at the moment, but it's coming back out to the neutral territory. Sentinel's moving it through some traffic there. Hickman trying to get it out of the zone, and they do. They find Pomfret. Pomfret over to Ives. Ives got one guy to make him miss. He gets into the Sentinel territory. It's 4-on-1. He takes it and slings it towards the goal, but it bounces off the left shin guard of one of the players. Hickman able to hold that blue line, but couldn't hold on to the puck. Loses it over the center there. Still 4-on-5 here on the penalty kill. Puck gets dumped down on the backside of the Sentinel's net, where Martin's going to come in and get a stick on it over to Ives. Ives couldn't quite hold on to it. Hickman trying to hold the blue line, and he does. Up against the boards, they're fighting for the puck. It comes out to Ives. Ives centers it to Martin. Martin couldn't quite hang on to it. He turns, fires back towards the net, bounces off the goalie's stick. Sentinel's going to take it and sling it out of the zone. And they've got it over neutral zone, moves it into Omaha territory. Hickman does a good job of getting down on one knee, getting the stick level to the ice, and keeping that puck from sliding by him. Sentinel's moving the puck to the neutral zone. They fire it, but Roman gets the stick on it. Full strength back 5-on-5 hockey here. Hallberg comes out with it out of the neutral zone, moves it into the Sentinel territory. Hallberg hits the brakes. Moves it to the center, shot on goal. On the backside, Ives trying to clean it up, and he does. I'm not sure if that was Ives that tipped that or Holmes, but it looks like everybody's hitting Holmes on the top of his head, so we're going to credit Holmes. Yeah. Yeah, he did. End of the period, goal right before the end of the period there. So Ives moves that over into the Sentinel territory there. Shot on goal. Ives cleans it up on the back side over to Holmes. Holmes is going to take that one and stick it in the net. So
shot attempts 42. Shots on goal 27.
All right, we're running about 47% missing so far in this game.
They have 11 or 8 shots on net.
All right, Sentinels have eight shots on net so far.
Shots on goal ratio 3-1.
3-1. Omaha leads in the
5-1.
Score 5-1. 3-1 shots on goal. Omaha leads, and then 5-1 is your score currently. So getting ready to move here in the third period. So far, the boys are doing a good job. They're moving their feet. They're finding their point guy. There's been a lot of D-to-D passing, back and forth, dumping it down low, getting it back up top, moving it around till they find a guy that's got a chance to have a shot. So there's been a pretty good amount of that this morning. First line back out. Holmes is going to be over here on the right. Hickman's going to be taking this draw. Hallberg is going to be on his left. Moyer and Phelpsy be backing them up on defense. And the steel wall, Brooks Tracy in the back, showing off his skating skills. Ready to go. All right. Ref points to the goalies. They both say they're ready to go. Draw comes out. Hickman's going to get it. Gets it over to Holmes. Holmes is on a breakaway, looking to go back-to-back goals. And he sends one about 2 foot higher than the bar there. So puck flies up in the air. Hickman's up against 2-3 people. It comes out the Sentinel player where Holmes is going to get in, get a stick on it for just a second. Sentinel's moving it back into the neutral zone. Hickman uses the body there to slow that down, gets it over to Moyer. Moyer over to Phelps. Phelps does get that out of Omaha territory, finds Hickman over to Pomfret. Pomfret loses an edge, but it comes back over to Hickman. Hickman's going to bring it into Centennial territory, moves through one guy, right, left, shot on goal, hits the bar and goes high. Moyer's able to keep that into Sentinel's zone. He dumps it down into the near side corner. Hickman comes in to put some pressure on. Pomfret gets the stick on that as well, trying to hold the zone. Not going to be able to. Sentinel's move it over center ice. Phelps is there, gets the stick on it, and dumps the kid off into the boards on the far side. Did get a call on that one, so it looks like we're going to go on a penalty kill here. Or did they call him, or is that offsides? It must have been offsides. I heard Hallberg whistle. Caden hit him and he went into the boards, but I believe it was just an offside call. Carroll gets the puck on the backside, looking for Ives, finds him. He's got Martin through the center. Martin was offsides on that one. Got a little antsy there. Got a little ahead of the puck. It's going to be offsides there on Omaha. You're going to go to the far side. Far side dot. Martin takes the draw, sends it over to Ives. Ives gets it into the Centennial territory. He swings one towards the net. It bounces off the goalie's chest. Loose puck on the backside of the net where looks like Roman's going to get in on it. Excuse me, Martin's going to get in on it. Sentinels move it back behind their own net. They're trying to get it out of the zone. Hallberg couldn't quite hold the blue line there. And we got a 3-on-1. But Hallberg turns the Jets on. He was back checking like a monster right there. Kid is quick and he's full stride. Shot towards goal. Brooksy gets down and deflects that one on the backside where Hallberg's going to pick it up. Hallberg moves it to the center. Was looking to get it up to Ives. Couldn't quite connect. Hallberg using shoulder, keeping that one alive for the moment, but it comes down in Omaha territory. Brooksy's going to get down, deflect that on the backside over to Roman. Roman's going to send it up, looking for some help on it with Ives. Ives gets there, gets the stick, runs into two players. Couldn't quite hold it on. He regains control of it. Turns, fires. Another shot, wide left. Hallberg fighting to keep that puck in the zone. He does get it down to Martin. Martin gets his pockets picked there. On that one, gets taken out. Everybody's falling. Everybody, literally, on top of each other. Puck comes out to Ives. Ives got Hickman in front of him. Shot on goal. Hickman's going to try to clean that up, and he does. Great job by Ives taking that shot. Bounced off the goalie's chest. Hickman's in the right place. Cleans that up. Puts that one in for... They'll take us 5-1 or 6-1? 6-1, I believe, yeah. 6-1 Omaha here. Phelpsy moving into the center spot, getting ready to take a draw.
Center?
Yep. My guess is he's going to lead shoulder first here. He wins the draw over to Holmes. Holmes going to move it into the Sentinel territory. Holmes on a breakaway shot on goal. Hits the right top side. Great job there. Phelpsy wins the draw, sends it over to Holmes. Holmes going to move it and score pretty quickly off of that last goal. 7-1 there. So same motley crew in the same position. Phelps on the draw, gets it over to Hickman. Hickman tried to move it through some traffic, gets picked off. Where it comes back to Phelps. Phelps backhands it, finds Hickman. Hickman makes one guy miss, makes two guys miss, moves towards the net. Shot on goal, goes off the goalie's pads up high to the far side boards. Comes on the back side where Phelps turns, fires one through the center. Gets it. The Sentinels, they do regain the puck over the neutral zone. Good back check by Phelps, gets the stick underneath them, pops it up, and sends it back the other way. Hickman looking for Holmes. I don't think Holmes saw the puck underneath his feet there, so it's coming back the other way where Moyer is going to try to use the boards to get it out of the neutral zone. Phelps comes in to get some help. Moyer turns, fires it into the boards, turns around looking for some help on the backside, couldn't find it. Throws it down in Omaha territory. Sentinels try to center that. Pomfret's going to be the first Maverick to it down there, get some pressure on them. They fired up the boards where Hickman's there, and they turn, fire it off Ives. It bounces off of him, goes to Holmes. Holmes makes a move right at the blue line, which draws Hickman off sides. He was kind of threw the brakes on there, looking to move back through the center. Hickman couldn't quite stop fast enough, so we're going to have a near side dot drop. And Roman, we're working kids in a lot of different positions here. Everybody's kind of moving around, so our defensive men's getting a chance to play forward, and Roman does take the drop on that, wins it, gets it over to Ives. Ives couldn't quite hold on to it. Sentinel send it, dump it down low where Hallberg's going to be there. He hits the brakes, comes back right up the center ice, moves it through, finds Ives over the center. Ives moves to the left, opening up some space on the backside, but Martin, no, that was Roman. Got him a little bit ahead of him. Cool part of some of these friendlies is you got Hallberg out there and their coach, so they're able to coach in the moment. So right then, he was able to kind of let Ives know he made a change right at the blue line, which Martin wasn't quite ready for and was offside. So it's a good learning experience for the kids. Puck drop comes back to Hallberg. Hallberg finds Roman. Roman takes a shot on goal. It bounces off the goalie's stick. Turns around. They center it back down to Roman. Roman backhands it over Carroll. Carroll looks to make a move to the left, right. Finds Ives. Shot on goal. Ives is going to sneak that one through. I believe that went through 5-hole. Went to the side over.
It was Henry to Jace, Jace to Will.
All right, I'm not sure if you may have heard Coach Brandon on that one. It went Henry over to Jace. Jace backhands it over to Ives, and Ives puts that one left side of the net. I believe that's taking us 8-1 at this point. Hickman comes in, throws his body in front of that one, fights up against the board, loses an edge, but it comes out to Holmes. Holmes has got it on the front side of the net and takes a shot on the Phelpsy, trying to clean that one up. Good effort there by Phelps coming in, trying to pick that puck up in front of the net. Couldn't quite connect. Phelps is taking the draw. Comes out to trying to get it over to Holmes, but the Sentinels get a stick on it. They're moving the other way. He loses it over to Hickman. Hickman over to Holmes. Holmes makes one guy miss. He's got Phelps on his right. Shot by Phelps coming. Hits the top stick of the goalie. Bounces down in the far side corner. Sentinels do get it out of their zone. Moyer's going to have to get back on defense, and he does. Gets there, sends it back up the boards for the neutral zone looking for Hickman, but they couldn't quite connect. Hickman's going to fight hard to get the puck. Flies up in the air where Phelps gets a stick in there as well. Phelps backhands one. Does go over, dumps over to the Sentinel player. They move it through the center ice, where Roman comes in, gets a stick on it. Boys are fighting hard to keep it out of their zone, and it does come back the other way. Holmes has got it, moves into the Sentinel zone. Got some pressure on him up against the boards. He flings it through the center, looking for help from Roman. He bounces off his stick. Now we're going back the other way. Hallberg couldn't quite get there. He's trying to. He's going to, that's Pomfret. Pomfret comes in, gets a stick on it up against the boards. Puts some pressure and dumps it on the backside where he finds Roman. Roman over to Ives. Ives makes one guy miss. Moves it through the center. He finds Holmes, point guy on the far side. Holmes turns the brakes on, comes through the center. Shot on goal, bounces off the goalie's face mask. Where the Sentinels are going to bring it back the other way. Hallberg trying to keep it in their zone, but couldn't do it. Over in the neutral zone where Sentinels moving into Omaha territory. There's a shot on goal coming, and they put it over top side of Brooksy's glove on that one. Had a 3-on-1 coming back the other way. So that takes us 8-2. Looks like Phelps is going to take the draw, gets it over to Ives. Ives runs into some traffic, couldn't quite gain the zone there. Sentinel's coming back towards Omaha territory. They try to pass it over, but Ives gets a stick on it just for a second, deflects it down to Hallberg. Hallberg tries to hang on to it, couldn't, but Roman's got it on the backside, uses the boards to get it back up to Hallberg, who sends it out of the zone. Looks like it's going to be an icing. It's slowing down, and there's an icing. So we'll be coming back the other way. Regroup, set up, do it again. Not sure how far we're in the third period here.
We've got 2 minutes left of the ice. The
Okay.
ceremony door's now opening up.
All right, we got 2 minutes left in this game then. 8-2 is your score currently. Puck comes out to Carroll. Carroll couldn't quite hold on to it, but it bounces back on the backside to Martin. Martin trying to get it out of Omaha territory. Couldn't. Shot on goal coming, went high right. Puck's on the backside. Sentinel's going to center it up top. Shot on goal, went wide right. Got one player down. Looks like we're going to blow the whistle here and check on him. Yeah, he's.
For the record, Caden was nowhere near that side of the ice.
Caden was at the blue line area of the ice when the kid fell. But all the boys take a knee here in support of their opponent. But he gets up. Got a little bit of a limp there, but he's going to skate off with a little assistance from their coach. All right, so we're probably less than a minute or so here. Roman set to take the draw. He backhands it over to Hickman. Hickman deflects it to the Sentinel, who puts it down low to Moyer. Moyer's going to work his feet back and forth a little bit, finds Hickman up the boards on the far side. Hickman turns, little punch turn going back the other way, looking to get it up top. Couldn't quite connect. Pomfret's going to get it on the backside of the good guy's net. Whistles are blowing, and that's going to be it. So, good game this morning early. Even with a lack of normal warm-ups and just, that normal tradition of routine. Boys woke up, played hard this morning, moving their feet, moving the puck. So, one more game left here in Minnesota area. 11:15 game time. We'll be back.